barrage. There was the Turkel report on what happened, the Israeli report on what happened on the flotilla, which runs to some 300 pages. And just as I finished printing it out and was about to begin reading it, there was the Al Jazeera announcement of 2,000 documents on the so-called peace process. And I had to decide that I was going to have to wait until I finished the Turkel report. And then there was a speech by Mr. Nasrallah, the head of the Hezbollah, which I also had to put aside. And then there were explosions in Lebanon, which I will speak about at some length tonight. And now you open up the computer and there are events happening in Egypt. So a lot's happening, and for me it's, I primarily am a reader, which means at this point I should be home trying to keep up with all the reading, but it didn't happen that way. And so I'm slightly discombobulated because I've been trying to do as much reading as I can in the free moments while I'm flying or on the ground with the train, with the Amtrak. In any event, that's my problem, not yours, except to the extent that I like to be accurate and informed. And I got to next to the last page of the Turkel report about 5 minutes ago. I think I can spare myself the conclusions because unlike journalists and most professionals who just read the introduction and the conclusion, I did read the body of the report, and so I don't have to worry about reading the conclusions. I'm going to be speaking this evening about, basically my remarks will be divided into 3 parts. I'll be speaking about what happened in Gaza. I'll then be looking at what happened on the Freedom Flotilla, the Mavi Marmara in particular. And then I'll be looking at where things are headed or seem to be going. And then finally, I know those are 3 parts, but in conclusion, I'll look at what's probably most important, namely what we can do if we want to try to achieve a just and lasting peace. I'll begin with, as I said, what happened in Gaza in 2008-2009 from December 27th to January 17th. But that's not really where the story begins. The story begins in May 2000, when after a 17-year-long guerrilla war, the Hezbollah, the Party of God, inflicted a military defeat on the Israeli occupying army in South Lebanon. The Israelis were very upset by this defeat. Now, I have to say, folks, I speak a lot, and in the last several years I've not had any disruptions. Everything is quiet and calm. So I hope that's the U of P is not going to be aberrant in that respect. So let's all make a real effort to just be calm and be reasonable and to have a real dialogue ultimately. As I said, in May 2000, Israel suffered a major military defeat, and Israel was determined to undo that defeat. For Israel represented a diminution, a lessening of what it calls its deterrence capacity. And deterrence capacity is just a fancy technical term for the Arab Muslim world's fear of Israel. And the Israelis were upset or concerned that with the defeat they suffered, that their deterrence capacity had suffered a blow in the Arab Muslim world. Already by 2001, the Israelis began preparing for the next round with the Hezbollah. They patiently waited for a pretext, an excuse, and they founded in the summer of 2006. And in July, Israel launched another assault on Lebanon. One in the long series launched a major assault on Lebanon. And by the end of the 34 days, unexpectedly, Israel suffered another major defeat at the hands of the party of God. Mr. Nasrallah, the head of the Hezbollah, he was not shy about boasting, or I should say, he did not refrain from boasting about the defeat he inflicted on the Israelis. He called it the divine victory, and he kept saying to the Israelis, the Arabs aren't afraid of you anymore. We're not afraid. You want to attack, go ahead and attack, and if you attack again, we're going to defeat you again. Well, for Israel, this represented a second consecutive blow to our deterrence capacity, to the Arab Muslim world's fear of it.